Jimmie Johnson currently leading the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series here, presented by Burger King at Dover International Speedway. And just a moment ago, Jimmie Johnson put the 11 car of Denny Hamlin a lap down. Let's go in and check on the 11 car with Dave.
And Doc, the 20th position where Denny Hamlin is running is still better than he's finished the last 4 races here, but they have struggled with that car today. It was plowing midway through the race until they took what they called a big swing at the car. The last pit stop, they put the track bar down and removed spring rubbers from both rear springs, and they fixed the type problem. It is now extremely loose, and unfortunately it is slow, and Jimmie Johnson is very fast, so he's off the lead lap, struggling, just hovering around the top 20.
Wow, DJ, he'd come in here with so much momentum coming off the win at Richmond, the second place finish at New Hampshire, and 7 consecutive top 10 finishes, coming to a track that he said he really has a problem at.
Yeah, he came in with momentum, but a lot of trepidation also, because he just said this has been their nemesis over the last few years. They just can't get a good finish even when they have a good car, and today they obviously are struggling with their setup.
Still working on the 18 car of Kyle Busch, who's been in the garage area after having contact with the wall.
Got Jamie McMurray and Reed Sorensen on pit road.
We're hearing a tire rub was on the 43 car, who had been involved in an incident back on lap 32.
26 has been one of the first cars on the pit road throughout the day. I don't know if they're having some type of issue with fuel, or if it's a tire situation that Jamie starts feeling something and gets to pit road.
Andy, we're hearing the leaders, this guy and others up front, should be coming in around lap 290. But in a 400 lap race, that's still going to give them one more stop, right?
Oh yeah, it's going to be at least one more after this one. Actually, maybe 2 more. Depends on how this thing works out as far as caution flags.
We talk about how good Jimmie Johnson has been in the last 3 years in the chase. He is the only driver who can make NASCAR history this year by winning 4 consecutive championships. We talk about former champions, the 14 now. Tony Stewart, the 2-time champion, on the move, starting to pick up some positions.
I really like the way he's been doing this. He's been really just kind of easing around there, not really making any big, bold moves. And, yeah, you turn around and he's gained 2 more spots. Vince?
That's exactly right, Andy. Just been very patient, and on the radio, not really saying much. He said the car was pretty good. It's a little bit tight if there's any complaint at all. But otherwise, he feels like the car's good. They know it's a long race. He's just slowly been making his way toward the front. You know, when I visited with Darian Grubb before the race today, he was very confident that they had a car that could be a contender. Not done yet with the 14.
Tell you what, dangerous combination. You put a good race driver using his head, they can make a lot of good things happen. But you know, we talk about he's been riding around here. He's been a little bit aggressive. I was watching a while ago going down the front straightaway. You can see he runs up on him. He's been trying to pass him for a few laps, but I think he's going to let 44 know that he's ready to go forward. So he gives AJ a little bit of a shot on the inside.
I've already got damage on the nose. I'll just use it up a little more here.
Time to go. His patience wearing thin a little bit there. Smoke. And you talk about being a smart race car driver. He knows that he's not going to push his equipment here. But last 100 laps is going to get pretty exciting here. I think he'll be able to make a move. And ironically, though, since his last win at Watkins Glen, Tony Stewart has not had a top 10 finish. 5 races in a row, which ties a career record for him without finishing in the top 10.
You see Clint Boyer is back in moving out there, getting a little loose, and Stewart able to close right up to him.
Yeah, and I always thought as a driver here, I was in good shape. And as you get down after halfway of this race and get into those last 100 miles of this race, some other guys aren't really wanting to be here. That's when you could really take advantage of a situation like that. And I think Tony Stewart's a lot like that.
9 car, Casey Kane trying to take the 9th spot away from Ryan Newman, and Ryan doesn't want to give it up. Both these drivers in the chase, and the 39 car has lost a position. Newman was 7th in the points coming in. Right now he's 8th, and of course the 9 car of Casey Kane desperately needed to getting as many points as possible after that disappointing finish last week.
Got that 18 car patch back up. Now he's back out with Kyle Busch. Casey's saying, give me a little room here. I need to make this pass. I know you got fresh tires back there, but just give me a second. I'll be out of your way.
been watching these guys. They're really having to dodge these blacker spots on the racetrack. It's where this rubber buildup is. And so they're having to kind of really dodge those. And so it's making it a little more difficult for them to make the pass.
Now Kyle Busch able to go on the inside and get by there. DJ, how tough is it for someone like Kyle to get back in a car that's been that heavily damaged and you've already hit 2 or 3 times here?
You know, it's part of your job. That's what you do. Is what you sign up for. You know, every day can't be the best, but it is difficult. He's outside the chase. They've had problems with either the tires blowing out or something rub them to create a problem like that. So he really doesn't want to be there, but yeah, that's what you have to do. You have to get out there and make the most points that you possibly can.
Jimmy Johnson, our leader, and he is starting to put more and more cars a lap down. He's moving in back in on the 88 car of Dale Earnhardt Jr. And not far in front of him is the 83 car. One of our chase contenders. There is the 83 car of Brian Vickers. 132 laps to go here at Dover, Delaware. We have had 6 lead changes among 4 different drivers. Jimmy Johnson trying to become the 10th driver to sweep both events here at Dover. You're watching ESPN on ABC. Under caution once again here at Dover, Delaware. There's a 12 car that has come into contact with the wall, just body slammed the right side of that car, David Stremme. And the big beneficiary of this caution flag will be the 83 car of Brian Vickers, who will get the free pass and be able to get back on the lead lap. Show you again the contact with David Stremme a moment ago, which brought out this yellow flag.
See, he'd been running at Highland, but his car got loose. You can see chase it up there. Pretty hard hit. Probably pretty good bit of damage. See him working on the right front.
Got the remnants of a brake duct. He's trying to pull out of there.
Leaders should be on pit road here. They'll still have to make probably 2 more stops.
Yeah, they'll definitely have to make this stop and 1 more. It's going to be almost impossible for them to make it on 1 more stop, even if this caution didn't come out, but this changes it up a little bit.
Pit road is open. See the green flag waving. Jimmy Johnson will come down and lead the others. There's Jeff Gordon, Kurt Busch, Montoya, Martin as they head down for their next stop. Vince Welch.
Doc, you mentioned earlier Tony Stewart with 5 straight finishes of 10th or worse, and they feel like they've had some good cars, just some bad breaks. They've got another good car today, and indicative of that, no changes with this car, just 4 tires and fuel for Tony Stewart. Shannon?
Vince, as the track is rubbered up, the handling of this number 2 car for Kurt Busch has really gone the wrong way, so they're going to make a track bar and an air pressure adjustment for Kurt Busch. 4 tires. Dave?
Second place, Jeff Gordon debated with his crew chief what to do. They were thinking nothing. The car didn't tighten up too much, just a little bit loose off. For Jimmy Johnson, the leader, he comes down pit road. He will get a chassis adjustment. His car just a little bit loose in the center, and he asked his crew to go 9/10, did crew chief Chad Knaus. Slow down to go fast, and they win the race off pit road.
So Jimmy Johnson will retain the lead. Jeff Gordon coming off in second. Basically the way they came on pit road. Kurt Busch is third. Montoya 4th. As we are under caution now for the 6th time today.